Good evening, students. I am very glad to meet you in another one webinar that is on types of alloy steels. In the previous webinar, we have studied about the types of plain carbon steels, low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, high carbon steels. That are the one classification of steels that are plain carbon steel. In this webinar, we are going to learn about types of alloy steels. So, as I told in previous webinar, there are three types of metals. One is ferrous metal, another one is non-ferrous metal. Uh, in this webinar, we are going to see about the ferrous type, that is types of alloy steel. So, alloy steels are mainly classified as two, that is low alloy steel and high alloy steel. Low alloy steel is under the category of plain carbon steel. So, high alloy steel consists of stainless steel, tool steel. So today we will learn about the types of high alloy steel. So before that, in the previous webinar, we have learned about the types of low alloy steel, that is low carbon steel, which consists of the carbon percentage of less than 0.25 percentage, and medium carbon steel is consists of the carbon percentage in between 0.25 to 0.68 percentage. Then high carbon steel consists of zero point 0.6 to 1.4 percentage of carbon. So now we are going to see about the types of alloy steels. Mainly, the types of alloy steels consist of stainless steel, tool and die steels, high strength low alloy steel, and high speed steel. So first type of alloy steel is stainless steel. Before that, what is meant by alloy steel? Alloy steel means the other than the carbon element, some other elements are mixing with steel with some percentage. So that is known as alloy steel. So first one is stainless steel. In the stainless steel, there are three types of stainless steels are there. One is ferritic stainless steel. Another one is austenitic stainless steel. Third one is martensitic stainless steel. So first, ferritic stainless steel. So ferritic stainless steel means the steel which contain 11.5 percentage to 27 percentage of chromium, 0.08 percentage to 0.8 percentage, 0.2 percentage carbon, and 1 percentage manganese, and 1 percentage nickel, and rest of the percentage is iron. So in this ferritic stainless steel, the carbon element is very, very low. Other than carbon element, chromium, manganese, nickel are also composites with the steel. So mainly this ferritic stainless steel properties are, it will have magnetic and heat and corrosion resistance, and it can be easily hardened and strengthened only by strain hardening because they are not heat treatable. So only strain hardening is applicable for this ferritic stainless steel. So mainly ferritic stainless steels are widely used in automotive exhaust components and combustion chambers, which are used in engines, and also valves, inlet valve and exhaust valves, which are used in the engines, high speed engines. So these are all the applications of ferritic stainless steel. And second one is austenitic stainless steel. So its structure, as named as, its structure is have austenitic structure. So it is known as austenitic stainless steel. So its composition is carbon element is 2 to 4 percentage, and also chromium 16 to 26 percentage, nickel 6 percentage to 22 percentage, and also molybdenum 2 to 4 percentage. So remaining percentage is iron. So this austenitic stainless steel is also non-magnetic, heat and corrosion resistance, and also similar to ferritic stainless steel, it can be hardened and strengthened only by strain hardening method because of low carbon percentage. So applications of austenitic stainless steels are, it will have mainly used in chemical and food processing equipments, and it will be widely used in cryogenic vessels that are used in rockets and welding constructions. So welding construction equipments are mainly manufactured by these austenitic stainless steel. And also in our kitchens, mostly we will be used in uh, plates and some other kitchen containers. They are made up of austenitic stainless steel. Normally we are named as ever silver. So ever silver is nothing but austenitic stainless steel. Then third one is martensitic stainless steel. Martensitic stainless steel will composites as chromium 11.5 percentage to 18 percentage, carbon 0.05 percentage to 0.25 percentage, nickel 1.25 percentage to 2.25 percentage, and molybdenum 0.75 percentage to 1%. Remaining are the iron contents. So this will be also similar to same properties as austenitic stainless steel and also ferritic stainless steel. Applications of martensitic stainless steels are mainly they are used in rifle barrels and jet engine parts such as jet engine combustion chamber and nozzles, and also mostly the bearings, shaft bearings are also made up of martensitic stainless steel. Then these are all the mainly widely used applications of stainless steels. So in the industrial purposes, the exhaust pipelines, mainly exhaust pipelines in cement factories, textile factories, etc., are mainly used as stainless steel pipes, and also the beams which are used in industries and building structures and bridges mainly made up of the stainless steels. So as I told in earlier, mainly is the applications of stainless steels are in engineering purpose 25 percentage are applicable, and 7 percentage, 16 percentage are mainly used as transportation, and 16 percentage of stainless steels are applicable in metal goods, and electro and electronics equipments and circuits are mainly made up of 15 percentage that are stainless steel. Then in building and construction equipments are made up of stainless steel. They are widely applicable in 11 percentage. Then tubular products, as I told, in the pipelines of exhaust pipelines of various industries are also used, also made up of stainless steel that are contributes of 10 percentage. Remaining 7 percentage is also used in the other purposes by the applications of stainless steel. The second type of alloy steel is high strength low alloy steel. High strength low alloy steel. So HSLA, shortly named as HSLA, it contains very small percentage of carbon, less than 1/10 of percentage, and only small amounts of very specific alloying elements. So most of the percentage is iron content and very small amounts of other elements. So these are all the remaining elements. So mostly in this tabular column, most of the grades of steels are used, but A517 grade F. 1 minute. A This one A517 grade F steel is used, most widely used. This type of steel, 0.15 percentage of carbon, 0.8 percentage of manganese, 0.015 percentage of phosphorus, and 0.015% of sulfur, 0.2% of silicon, 0.85% of nickel, 0.5% of chromium, 0.5% of molybdenum, 0.1% of vanadium and zirconium, and 0.002% of barium, 0.3% of carbon. So most of the elements, more elements other than carbon are mixed with steel. So this type of steel is known as high strength low alloy steel, that is shortly named as HSLA. So main properties of HSLA are it will be stronger and tougher, and it will be a fine dispersion of alloy carbides in the steel. So mainly this type of steels are under the heat treatment of precipitation strengthening. So by using precipitation strengthening, this type of steels are under the heat treatment. By using this heat treatment, the grain size will be finely refined. So it will be easily used for manufacturing the machine components, and it will have much more machinability, and easily it can be uh, ductile. So precipitation strengthening is used for increasing the ductility and machinability for this type of high strength low alloy steel. So this is the microstructure of HSLA for A517 grade. This one is the microstructure of A533 grade steel. Mainly applications of HSLA are it will be mainly used for manufacturing oil and gas pipelines, automotive beams, offshore structures, and ship buildings. So mostly HSLA steels are applied in marine purposes, marine applications, and also used in cars, trucks, cranes, bridges, and other structures. So that type of alloy steels are tool and die steels. Tool and die steels means mostly in our industrial purposes, they mostly most type of machines are used: lathe, drilling machines, milling machines, grinding machines. So these type of machines, various types of tools are used for machining purposes. These type of tools are manufactured by tools and die steels. So tool and die steels composition is uh, 75 percentage iron and 25 percentage other alloying elements. So properties of tool and die steels are high strength, high impact toughness, and high wear resistance at normal and elevated temperatures. So mainly tool and die steels are applied in dies, drills, cutting blades, hot working dies. So mainly tool steels will have high resistance to deforming and flattening, and high resistance to breakage and chipping, and high resistance to abrasion and erosion, and it will have high corrosion resistance. So the different types of tool steels are used. First one is cold work tool steel. It will have water hardening, oil hardening, air hardening. So for water hardening tool steels are W steel, uh, and oil hardening tool steels are known as O steel, and air hardening steels are known as A steels. So different types of industrial codes are used for cold working steels: W1, W2, W5, O1, O2, O6, O7, A2, A4, A6, A7, A8, etc. Then second type of tool steels are shock resistance hot work steels. These are used for the forging machines, tools, and other type of hydraulic press, pneumatic press tools are used. These type of tools will have H type of tools. This type of tools mainly consist of chromium, tungsten, and molybdenum. Then that type of tool steels are high speed steel. High speed steel consists of mostly a molybdenum and tungsten. Then fourth type of tool steel is molding steel. These molding tools are mostly used in casting process, that is P6, P20, and P21. So mostly hammer and chisel and hard working tools like forging dies and forging punches, and cold working tools like machine wise, uh, pipe wise, and other work holding devices, and high speed tools like drilling tool, drill bit, milling cutter, and lathe cutting tools. These type of tools are mostly made up of these type of tool steels. And also uh, cutters and washers and punches, then shear blades, rolls, and blanking dies are also made up of W type, O type, A type, and D type of alloy steels. Then shock resisting tools. Yes, shock resisting tool steels mainly consist of screwdriver blade and shear blade. These blades are mainly made up of S type of tool steels, and uh, these are having low temperature toughness and impact toughness. Then hot work tool steels, die casting dies, extrusion dies, and punch and dies mainly used in casting processes are made up of hot working tool steels, that is H class alloy steel. These tools will have high temperature toughness, high resistance to wear and cracking. Final type of tool steels are high speed tool steels. Mostly these are named as HSS steels. This type of steels are mainly used for making thread rolling dies, pin punches, drill bits. So this type of tools are mainly shortly named as HSS steels. These steels include M1 to M52, T1 to T15 class of alloy steels. So this type of HSS tools are mainly used in milling machine, drilling machine, lathe tools, planer tools, punchers, reamers, routers, taps, saws, broaches, and chasers and hobs. So these are all the mainly examples of HSS steels: high strength low alloy steels, micro alloyed steel connecting rods, and nano alloyed steel bicycle hub, and bearing steel pipes, cold forming steel front, and chained steel chain. So why most of the elements are mixing with alloy steels? Silicon element is mainly used mixed with alloy steel, and nickel. Nickel is mainly used for alloy steel for increasing the strength and toughness of steel, and phosphorus is mainly used for increasing the strength, and chromium is mainly included with alloy steel for imparting corrosion resistance, and tungsten is mainly for the purpose of hard abrasion resistance particles, and it will increases the strength and high elastic limit. And also manganese. Manganese is mainly for increasing the strength and hardness. Phosphorus is mainly used for increasing the strength and hardness and it decreasing the ductility. And sulfur is mainly used for decreasing the ductility and increasing the weldability. Then silicon. Silicon is mainly included for alloy steel for uh, increasing the rolled strength and hardness. And copper is also sometimes it will be included for alloy steels for mainly purpose of corrosion resistance. Another one type of alloy steels are maraging steels. Maraging steels means uh, high percentage of other elements are mixed with alloys. So it will be mainly differed with the high strength low alloy steel, that is HSLA steel. In the HSLA steels, the more elements with less percentage are mixed with steel, whereas in maraging steel, uh, small elements with high percentage is mixed with steel. That is maraging steels. Mainly in maraging steel, cobalt, molybdenum, titanium, and nickel are also mixed with steel. So these are all the composition of maraging steel. 18% nickel, 8% cobalt, and 5% molybdenum, and 0.9% of titanium is the one type of maraging steel. These steels will have high quality to fracture toughness and ease of welding. Then second type of maraging steel is 23% of nickel, that is 23% of nickel, 2% of aluminum, and 2.5% of titanium. This type of maraging steels will have high resistance to stress corrosion and compared to carbon steels. And that type of maraging steel will have 12% of nickel, 12% chromium, and very less percentage of molybdenum, aluminum, and titanium. So mainly this type of maraging steels mostly used for this will have the microstructure of maraging steel, ferrous nickel martensite, and tempered ferrous nickel martensite. So applications of maraging steels are mainly these type of steels are widely used for manufacturing shaft and carburized nitride parts, components subjected to impact fatigue, and print hammers, and also clutches used for the high-speed engines are also manufactured by maraging steel. Then also commonly used for airframe and engine components in the aircraft, and injection molding and dies due to its high resistance of decarburization, distortion, and cracking. Maraging steels mainly will have high electromechanical components where ultra high strength is required, along with good dimensional stability during heat treatment. So these are all the high alloy steels. So high alloy steels, alloy steels mostly used for making industrial components such as bearings and machine components, and also aircraft structural components. So, so far we have studied about the various types of alloy steels and also its properties and applications. So, thank you so much for your patient listening.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure you've subscribed so that you can get the regular updates. Use the feedback ink in the description to get your certificate. Thank you.